I love how this is supposed to be flash facts, but the script is over 6 pages long. Hello everyone, Callan here. Welcome back to my channel. Time to roll into some more Helluva Boss flash facts for episode 2. You know, the episode with my favorite character in it. I know that technically Robo Fizz and OG Fizz are different, but I just love all Fizz. I love him so much. Let's get right into this. Stella is a blanket stealer. For some reason, Stolas calls Octavia Via for short, but admittedly, the first time I ever heard him say it, I thought he was calling her Olivia. Octavia is obviously a daddy's girl based on the drawing she made of just her and Stolas, as well as the painting of the two of them in her room. Octavia has constellation posters in her room, along with all the star decor that matches the rest of the house. She also has a not-so-little telescope. Stolas has squeaky slippers. Once again, Octavia only speaks about her father when talking about the nightmare, not Stella. Stolas can use his book to transport himself anywhere in the universe. One of his lyrics is, "I used to think love would be fun." This signifies that he either did love Stella at one point and the love died, or he went into marriage hoping for love only to not get any. Stolas talks about the 7 rings collapsing and his last day. Foreshadowing or depression? When creation goes to die, you can find me in the sky. Foreshadowing or depression? Octavia goes goth. When being scolded by Stella for sleeping with Blitz, Stolas mentions, "I didn't have time to go to a motel." To which she gets angry and mentions that a motel is for plebeians. Apparently, motels are below her. Stolas collects plants. Stella seems more angry at the fact that Stolas slept with an imp than the fact that he cheated on her. In her mind, it seems to ruin their social standing, and she outright tells him that he's an embarrassment because of it. Green seeds! Stolas keeps dead mice in the fridge. He's also apparently a fan of orange Coke and chocolate milk. Despite not understanding Octavia's music choices, Stolas doesn't outwardly judge her on it. Meat-eating plant! For some reason, Loo Loo Land was the place that Stolas decided to take Octavia, rather than Loo Loo World, which is run by Lucifer. Judging from Octavia's reaction and what Stolas said, there's a good chance that he hasn't taken her to Loo Loo Land in about 7 to 11 years, as she's roughly 16 years old and mentions not being 5 anymore. In the Loo Loo Land photo, Stella looks like she's trying to save face, but really doesn't want to be there. Poor servant imp is all messed up from being thrown around by Stella. While Stolas really does care about his daughter and wants to spend time with her, he simultaneously tries to make this a date with Blitz, and, well, we all know how that kind of thing can go. Too much thinking with your dick there, Stolas. Blitz actively fantasizes about having 3-ways with Millie and Moxie. Blitz has a picture on his desk that says #1 bitch, which he scribbled out to say #1 boss. His new phone case has a horse on it which says wild and free. Horse posters! More of Blitz's circus posters that we didn't get to see before. Blitz was about to say no to sleeping with Stolas, but immediately changed his tune when he thought he was going to sleep with his daughter. That's skeevy as fuck, Blitz. Blitz breaks his phone again, and sadly, so far this seems to be the last time we'll see this gag. Clown! Millie reacts the same way I do when someone tells me I'm going to a theme park.
Loo Loo Land? Loo Loo Land?
Loo Loo Land isn't very well taken care of. Everything's falling apart, but still seems to be making enough money to survive. This means Mammon is probably pocketing most of it and isn't willing to put money into repairs if he can help it. Kinda sounds like half the rides I've worked. There are signs all over Loo Loo Land stating that this isn't Loo Loo World, isn't affiliated with Loo Loo World, and isn't copying Loo Loo World. Fizz entry sign! Blitz tries to set a boundary, and Stolas doesn't acknowledge it. Moxie is a theme park mom! Ah yes, dump the morphine in with the baby. Millie is me at any theme park.
Wow! Oh! 'Cause it's Loo Loo Land!
Millie mentions having been to Loo Loo Land as a child whenever her parents could swing it money-wise, which means that her parents didn't have a lot of money when she was growing up. Moxie has never been to a theme park before or had something happen at a different theme park that kept him from going to Loo Loo Land. Mascots in particular disturb him. Loo Loo Land has the most badass carousel. Loo Loo Land is a spin-off of Loo Loo World and everyone who works here knows it. Lulu admits to being a pervert under his suit. The prices at Loo Loo Land are pretty much on par with the prices at actual theme parks. Judging from the posters all around the park, Robo Fizz has multiple shows. These include the Fizzarolli Jolly Hour and Fizzarolli and the Handy Dandies. The lawsuit doesn't have a worker outside checking heights, which, for this park, sounds about right. The petting zoo has a dragon! There's some great signs in the background of this sequence, such as funnel cakes and infinite suffering, ice cream bugs, hot and cold drunks, hacks away, and stop that soul. This imp looks how every theme park worker I've ever met feels inside. The gang of tiny imps that show up to kidnap Stolas have a cute little guy with overgrown sleeves who gets shot in the gut and then again in the head later in the episode. When he shows up the second time, he shows no damage from his previous injury. That's the most badass circus tent I've ever seen. Fizzarolli and Friends seems to be inspired by a multitude of things, such as shows like the Country Bear Jamboree at both Disneyland, RIP, and Disney World, America Sings, RIP, Carousel of Progress, and the non-theme park shows like the Rock-afire Explosion and the old Chuck E. Cheese shows back when they actually had the animatronics, RIP. Octavia was terrified of him. Blitz used to work at Loo Loo Land. Judging from the card he has in the flashback, there's a chance he was downgraded to a vendor of some kind of merch or balloons rather than being on stage anymore. Somehow the makeup on his face is under his forehead mark. This kid.
The most beautiful man in the world.
The document Fizz pulls up says, "This is a statement regarding the unfair accusations that my theme park, Loo Loo Land, is in any way trying to profit off of my friend and ruler, Lucifer's park, Loo Loo World. That is false. These accusations are baseless and untrue. You are all just dicks. Fuck right off and stop saying that, alright? They are legally distinct. I checked. Signed, Mammon." Mammon's signature has a little face with a three-pronged jester hat on it. Fizz's stretchy arms and legs are both like that because he's a robot and also mimic rubber hose-styled animation. Fizz has a $sign on his back. The Loo Loo Land song is a bop. That clown in the back of the stage, though. All of the animatronics aren't very well taken care of, just like the rest of Loo Loo Land. Even Fizz constantly glitches out in sparks. Yeet the children! Judging from this pile of cease and desist orders, Loo Loo Land gets in trouble with Lucifer all the time. Thing is, it usually only needs to be 20% different in order to not infringe on copyright laws, and Mammon may have just barely scraped by that in order to keep himself from getting sued. Fizzarolli makes fun of Charlie. When Moxie hits the target, it doesn't go down, showing that the games are rigged. As proof, when the game worker steps on the pedal to let Millie win, the apple falls forward, not backward, as it should when being hit. Stolas' inability to keep it in his pants drives an emotional wedge between him and his daughter. Fizz recognizes Blitzo and mentions that his jokes were lazy. This implies that Blitz wasn't a very big hit with small children. Blitz calls Fizz
a cheap-ass robo ripoff of an overrated sellout jester!
Showing more of their history together. Fizz points out that Blitz is all alone and doesn't have anyone who loves him, which Blitz deflects with violence. We get our first look at the poster describing robots of Fizz that can be bought and taken home for adult reasons. Mammon Cola is also a thing. Mammon is on the money system in Hell, which is referred to as souls rather than dollars. The carny lights a fire with only his fingers. Terminator reference. Moxie steals the thing from the broken down booth and gives it to Millie after they find Stolas. Stolas doesn't question the fact that Blitz set everything on fire. Fizz's face is on the swinging bags in the funhouse. The falling apple hat shows Stolas' mood. "When I was a kid and my parents didn't hate each other" implies that either Stolas and Stella got along for a while when they were first married, or they at least knew how to hide it better than what they're doing now. There's a high chance based on what Stolas says here that things haven't been going well for a long time, and him sleeping with Blitz is what finally pushed everything over the edge. This made Octavia feel alienated in her own home because the harsh reality that her parents don't love each other hit her hard and hit her fast. Stolas admits that he and Stella weren't in love, though he can't bring himself to finish the sentence. Stolas needs no bodyguard and has the ability to turn other demons into stone. Goodbye, Fizz, my beloved. Stylish Occult seems to be the equivalent of Hot Topic meets Super Goth Taxidermy Shop, or rather, the old version of Hot Topic, not the current version of it. A creature shows up to suck on Millie's head and drag her away that looks just like Valentino's pet, Queef. Oh boy, can you guys tell that this is one of my favorite episodes? Can you? I'll see you all in the next mess. Later, Gators.